Prabhuji. So good to have you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Prabhuji. How are you?
Hare Krishna. I'm well. Thank you so much. Krishna's mercy. Everything
Hare
going.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's hope that we all are well. We all okay. The sharing isn't here. Great. So let's get started. We've been doing Bhagavad Gītā, the overview itself. Maybe it's worth we go. Hari Bol. All right, okay. I hope everyone could see me. Hoping some more devotees will join in a bit. I'm just checking if anyone has sent any message. Hare Krishna. I think since we resumed back, we have yet to sort it out. Hare Krishna. So let's start with the Mangalacharan and then we shall resume the session. So feel free to join me. Om.
Ajnanaatimirandasya jnananjalakaya chakshurunmilitam tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathavitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaurvakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gurudev Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai Jai Shri Radesha. Hare Krishna, everyone. So good to have you all back. And today we're going to, let's resume back to our sessions. We did the family of Guru, and we went through all the stories, or not all the stories, we went through most of the stories, the major stories, and we realized at the end that the Mahabharata, which is Mahabharata, the biggest, the largest war which happened, was between two cousin brothers, So they were the sons of Pandus, called Pandavas, and the sons of the Dhritarashtra. And there were 101 children. One was the Dushala, was the daughter, while others were the sons of the Gandhari and the Dhritarashtra. And Gandhari had a brother called Shakuni, and he was a bad association on Duryodhan and Dushasan. It's also been mentioned that Duryodhan and Dushasan, their names were Suryodhan and Sushasana. Su is for good, but Dur is not so good. But because of the association, they went so bad. There are some references where it says they changed their own names, and there were other references where it says the people of the place where they used to live, because of their bad actions, the people started referring them that it cannot be Suryodhan, it has to be Duryodhan. And that's how it happens. So we need to learn the lesson that the association is very important, and most of us are children here. So when we go to the school, we get exposed to all different kind of children, and different people, different children, they come from different backgrounds. Some might be eating meat, some might not be, but their families might be smoking and drinking. We do need to understand that with whom we would like to get associated. And it's always tricky because we might not know to start with, and people appear differently in a social outfit anyways. But Pandus, on the other side, Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjun, Nakul, they were very pious. Hence, Lord Krishna was there with them. And we also notice that Parikshit, who was the grandson of Arjun, so Arjun and Subhadra, they had a son Abhimanyu, who had a wife as Uttara. When Abhimanyu died, Uttara was pregnant, and Uttara delivered a son called Parikshit, and Lord Krishna helped Uttara to deliver the baby Parikshit, because there is another story which comes in Mahabharata, that Uttara was attacked, and she requested Lord Krishna to come and help, and that's what Lord Krishna did, because of course Subhadra, the mother-in-law of Uttara, is Lord Krishna's sister. So Lord Krishna came and Lord Krishna helped, and Parikshit was born. And Parikshit was the first king who was present when Kali Yuga started. So when he left, then Kali Yuga completely engrossed this world. And since then, around 5,500 years back, all this Kali Yuga been going on. So we need to understand the importance of Parikshit. If we, and hopefully we will, if you are blessed enough, we will, after Bhagavad Gita, maybe one day we will start Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam is where Parikshit Maharaj asks all the questions. So interesting that in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun asks questions from Lord Krishna. And in Bhagavatam, so there are 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita, and there are 18,000 verses where Parikshit asks the questions. Many questions he asked from Suta Goswamiji and Shukra Goswamiji, and those questions are versed in 18,000 Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So hopefully, maybe one day we will do that as well. We have seen that how 18 chapters could be divided into 3. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Hare Krishna. Sorry, Jay, I didn't see your virtual hand. Yes, please.
I'm not sure, but I think I've heard that somebody had got cursed, that they had a stone in their head, that they could not die.
Oh, yes. They were actually, you're so right. The person, so we don't have it here, but the teacher. So you're so right. There was a teacher, and the teacher was called Dronacharya. So Acharya is a teacher, and Drona was his name. So Dronacharya was the teacher of Pandu, and he was hired by Bhishma. He was hired by Bhishma to teach all the kids of Pandavas and Dhritarashtra. So all these kids, they were taught by Dronacharya ji. And Dronacharya had a son, and his name was Ashvathama. Ashva is a horse. So Ashvathama, because when he was born, like the normal babies cry, he didn't cry that way. He cried like a horse. Hence his name was Ashvathama. And again, because of the bad association, even though Ashvathama, he was a Brahmin because his father was Brahmin, he learned all the Brahminical qualities from his father, Dronacharya, and he also learned all the military skills from his father, because his father, Dronacharya, was very expert archer. And even though Arjun was his favorite, and Arjun learned even more than Ashvathama, because Ashvathama got associated with Duryodhan. And when the whole world was divided between Duryodhan and the Pandus' army, so everybody had to take one side. So Lord Balram said, I don't want to take anybody's side because you both are cousins. I love both of you. So he said, I'm going on a pilgrimage, so I will not get associated with any. I'm not going to fight. Similar way, Vidura, he also said that I'm not going to take part in this battle. I'm going to go away. So he also went. And there was a third personality, Rukmin. So the brother of Rukmani, he was actually doing a meditation at that time. So there were three personalities who did not take part, but all others did. And Dronacharya, because he was associated with Bhishma, and Bhishma took the side of Duryodhan because his father was the king. That's the reason even the Ashvathama and Ashvathama's father, Dronacharya, they took the side of Duryodhan. So when Duryodhan got it went for the whole battle, went for 18, or the whole war went for 18 days. And somewhere right at the end, like on 15, 16 days, almost everything was lost for Duryodhan. All his brothers were dead. Even Dronacharya was dead. Bhishma Pitama was laying down, so he couldn't fight anymore. And Karna was killed by Arjun. That was the last thing. And Duryodhan was not completely killed, but he was left in such a nasty and miserable state just to die. And then Ashvathama came. Ashvathama was the only one left, and he came. And there was another one, like assistant with Ashvathama, but Ashvathama was the main warrior. Ashvathama came, and he could not see the state of Duryodhan while Duryodhan was still alive. And he said, so Ashvathama said to Duryodhan that they all, so Pandavas, they did cheating with us, and I will go and kill all of them. So Ashvathama went, and he went into the camps in night while they were sleeping, and he killed all the 5 Pandavas while they were sleeping, only to realize. So when he came to Duryodhan and he said, I've killed all those 5 while they were sleeping, Duryodhan actually didn't like it. Duryodhan said that we are warriors. We should not do this, even though both sides broke some of the rules, or many of the rules, if you put together everything. But Duryodhan didn't like it, and because he was a Kshatriya, he didn't want to kill somebody hidden, especially while sleeping, because you're not ready. But only to realize later that the 5 people which Ashvathama killed, they were not the 5 Pandavas. They were the 5 sons of the 5 Pandavas, and they were killed. And when obviously Duryodhan didn't like it, but the 5 Pandavas, they didn't like it, and they got angry. Bhim got angry, Arjun got angry. And all the 5 Pandavas, along with Lord Krishna, went to see of course, they found out that only person left was Ashwatthama. He did it, such a nasty thing. And when they all went to him, he realized that, of course, he didn't like that. Duryodhan didn't like it. So even Duryodhan was on his side. Duryodhan didn't support. So what did he do? He went to the ashram of Vedvyasa. And when he saw all them coming, he took the Brahmastra out. And Brahma, in this material world, Brahma is the first one who was born, and everybody was born from him later on. So Brahma is the father of everyone, all the demigods, all the humans. So Brahmastra, Astra is a weapon, and Brahmastra is a weapon whom only Brahma can stop. So, however, they've been mentioned that few others could stop, like Lord Krishna stopped it later at one point. But because Lord Krishna is the Aradhya, the worship, Brahma worshiped Lord Krishna. So that's why Brahmastra didn't work on Lord Krishna. So what happened when Ashwatthama shot the arrow toward, because he didn't have anything bigger than that, and he knew if these 5 Pandavas would come closer to me, they are going to kill me. So just in a haste, very quickly, he just shot Brahmastra. And when he did it, then Lord Krishna asked Arjun to do something, and Arjun realized that the only counteract of Brahmastra is another Brahmastra. So Arjun also released Brahmastra. And one Brahmastra is big enough to finish the whole Brahmanda. So imagine when 2 Brahmastra, it's like one nuclear bomb is enough to kill everyone, but if 2 nuclear bombs will go, we can't even imagine how bad it will be. And this is what happened. Those 2 Brahmastra were about to collide when Vedvyasa, he just kind of flew in the air. He stopped both the Brahmastras. In between, he came and stopped him. And so Vedvyasa is the son of Brahma. So he had the blessings from Brahma, and he stopped those. And then he said to Lord Krishna, very first thing, that Lord Krishna, why did you ask Arjun to do it? I can understand this fool on the other side, Ashwatthama, he doesn't know what he is doing, because he has already done so many bad things. And even shooting this Brahmastra is bad. So he is out of mind. But why did you ask Arjun to do that? So Lord Krishna said to Vedvyasa, because Ashwatthama had already shot, I didn't have any, we had to somehow subdue it. And the only reply is this. Vedvyasa said, you are right. But could you request Arjun to take that back? And this is what Arjun did. Arjun prayed, and the Brahmastra came back. And now Vedvyasa said same thing to Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama, could you please take your Brahmastra? And the shame to Ashwatthama that he could not take his weapon back, because he didn't learn that from his father. Hence, Arjun was Dronacharya's favorite, because he learned everything complete. A lot of times we do it. We start learning and we are full of enthusiasm. We go through everything, but right at the end, we forget, we don't finish, we don't learn about. It's a learning for all of us that whenever we start something, we have to go through till the end, which Ashwatthama didn't do it. So Vedvyasa said few things to him that it's shameful for you that your father knew it all, and your father taught Arjun, and he could utilize that, but you could not learn that from your father. Now, the only other thing which could be done is that please move this Brahmastra to something else. You can't carry this on to Pandavas, because they will shoot the Brahmastra back onto you. So move this somewhere else, change the aim and objective of this Brahmastra. And then he couldn't think of anything. He was also angry on Pandavas, because obviously not only Duryodhan didn't like it, he was left alone. His family, his father died, his friends died, and Vedvyasa is also shouting, because he came to the surrender. He kind of surrendered Vedvyasa that I'm here in your shelter. And Vedvyaji is also chastising him. So he could not think clearly, and he said, okay. By then, what Ashwatthama said to Pandavas, that you have killed all my friends, but I have killed your children, and none of your children is alive, which means you will not have any children left. So your ancestry will die with you. And then Bhima actually said that, you fool, you don't know that Uttara is actually pregnant and from Abhimanyu's son. And we are going to have that son who is going to be taking our kingdom further. And then when Ashwatthama heard this, Ashwatthama said, okay. When Vedvya said, you need to relocate this Brahmastra, he said, okay. So he chanted in his mind. So he knew that, fortunately or unfortunately, he knew that he could change it. He chanted, and that arrow went straight to Uttara's belly. And Uttara really started feeling pain. And of course, nobody else could understand, but Lord Krishna could see it. And Lord Krishna got very angry that time. And Lord Krishna said that you did such like, you have already done so many bad things, but this particular act is such a shameful act that you are not worth calling a Brahmin. And we in Vedic culture, we are not supposed to chastise Brahmin, we are not supposed to kill Brahmins. So it's called Brahm Hatya. Hatya is a killing. And Brahm Hatya is one of the biggest offense, sin anyone could do. But at that time, Lord Krishna said to Arjun that kill him. And Draupadi was there, and Draupadi said, even though Ashwatthama had killed Draupadi's 5 sons, but Draupadi said to Lord Krishna that please don't do it. She actually said to Arjun that he is your guru, your teacher's son, Guru Putra. So he's the son of your guru, and you can't, you got to respect your Guru Putra as your guru, and you can't kill your guru, even though Arjun did. But well, Arjun didn't, sorry. Yeah, Arjun didn't, somebody else did, it was supposed to. But that's when Arjun got in bewilderment. Arjun thought, Lord Krishna said I should kill, and Draupadi, what Draupadi is saying is right as well. He's a Brahmin, he's the son of my guru, so I should not kill him. So Lord Krishna said, then Arjun actually looked at Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna said, you're right, Arjun, that in the scriptures I said both those things. That somebody who does so many bad things, which Ashwatthama has done, especially try to kill Uttara's son in the belly, in the garb, we should kill that person. And at the same time, in the scriptures, I have said it that we should not kill Brahmin, and we should not kill Guru Putra, the son of your teacher. We should respect the son of the teacher as the teacher. So you should do the needful. Like Krishna didn't give everything to Arjun, just said this, and Arjun understood. So the way it is, it says, if we disrespect somebody like a Brahmin, then that's like killing the Brahmin. So Arjun disrespected. Arjun cut the hairs, and Arjun said, you, because Ashwatthama had that gem on his forehead. Then Arjun wanted to take it off, but by then even Ashwatthama was ashamed of himself, and because he killed Draupadi's son, and Draupadi still wanted to save him. So many teachings we can learn from these stories. And then that's where Ashwatthama got so ashamed. He said, I will take this off. You're right, I'm not worthy of this. And he killed. So remember, if the gem was there, the light was coming, and he was all shining. But as soon as it took the gem away, the money, he was all in darkness. His hairs were cut, and then he was thrown out of the place. So that's like a Brahmin. You kill the Brahmin just by disrespecting, not just by killing the body. So Arjun did both. He didn't kill, but at the same time, he did kill. And then Ashwatthama was cursed that you will stay like this and you will roam around the planet till the end. And it says that he's still there. And they've been mentioned that some aesthetics, some saints, the sages, they have given the description of this. So there was, I think, Radhana Swamiji Maharaj was who met somebody who said that I was lost and I met someone, and the person was very, very, very big, very huge. So the heights of the humans used to be very big in the previous yugas, and it's going shorter and shorter. And this is also written in Bhavishya Purana. So in our scriptures, in the Vedic scriptures, it's written that as we progress further, the heights of the humans will go down. So this saint was actually lost, and he met somebody who was very tall, big, and he had like what we call like a mark of that something was there. And he didn't realize then, but later on when he thought about it, he thought, could that person I met be Ashwatthama? And then he just met him, and the person gave him the directions that you're lost. This way is the river. You go there, and you will find. You follow the river, you will reach to that town or village. And then the person turned, and the person disappeared completely. So yes, you're so much right, Jay. Thank you for giving the reference to such a nice story and so many different learnings from them. That he was the one who killed, who wanted to kill.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. And you're right, Bhagavatam actually starts with that Lord Krishna came to Uttara, and Lord Krishna went inside, so nobody else could see. But when Parikshit was born, Parikshit came out, and the name itself, Parikshit. So in Hindi or Sanskrit, we call Pariksha. Pariksha is taking exam. And when we do exam, we kind of verify things. So Parikshit is to be verified in English. So when Parikshit came out, he had a different name, but because he saw Lord Krishna inside the womb, and Parikshit was a little baby, and Brahmastra was coming like a shining star, and he got very scared. And then Lord Krishna came, and Lord Krishna with his Sudarshan Chakra destroyed that Brahmastra. And then Parikshit had the darshan of Lord Krishna in the womb. And then he was born. Then he was just looking around, that where is that little guy who came and saved me inside? Because of course, when little Krishna was there inside the womb, he was very little. And because he was just verifying everyone, hence his name was Parikshit, because he was just taking Pariksha. He was taking examination. He was examining everyone. He was just checking where is Lord Krishna. And he met Lord Krishna later. So obviously when he grew up, he told everyone that story. When he was little, he couldn't. And that's where the whole Bhagavatam got started. So Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And this is what it is. There are so many different stories we have. And last time Aryan shared one story, and today also Aryan is ready with another story. There are so many stories we could learn. And even if you have any stories, or anyone who is attending, if you have any story you would like to share, either here in Zoom or in YouTube, then feel free to get connected, and you could put your story together either in the presentation form, or you just verbally share with us as you would like. And now in Bhagavad Gītā, the way we did was that we have already seen that we have 700 verses, 574 verses by Lord Krishna, Arjun 84 verses, Dhritarashtra only 1 verse, the first one, and Sanjay 41 verse. So this is how the percentage of the verses been split. We have seen number of verses. We have seen chapter 18, the most biggest, and then chapter 2, second one, 78, 72, and 12 and 15, they are the smallest one, 20 verses. We carry on. We have seen So this is what we have seen in past, where Dhritarashtra inquired from Sanjay. Sanjay gave the brief description of how Duryodhan is giving the military recitation of what's happening there, and Bhishma, he blew the conch shell, and then Lord Krishna and Arjun, they comes in and they started blowing, and we heard the story of Panchajanya, how Lord Krishna got that shank while saving his father because he killed the demon. And then all the 5 Pandavas, they also have their shank, and the shank has a name. And every shank, the name, there is a story, there is a significance behind it. So Arjun got bewildered. He wanted to go in the middle and he wanted to see the armies. And when Arjun saw it, and as we saw before, that Arjun gave 5 reasons that why he cannot fight. The very first one, he said, I'm full of compassion for the people. I have compassion. I can't kill both sides. They are my cousins, my nephews, I can't kill them. And some of the physical symptoms are given, and these are given in the verses, verse 28-30 of chapter 1. And then forgetting myself and mind reeling. And this is what happens with us a number of times. We forget. Sometimes we get into so much pressure, so much stress that we just forget everything. It's not the weakness of the body, it's the weakness of the mind, right? So what happened then? Then Krishna actually gave him the discourse, the knowledge. And because of that knowledge, he got the mental stability. And because of that mental stability, his body got the strength back. Now imagine, it doesn't really matter, somebody is small, somebody is big, somebody might draw 6-pack, somebody got big biceps. But if the mental stability is not good, if the person is not comfortable, and this has happened many times. For example, cricket. These days World Cup is going on. And we will see, for example, Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar was, compared to many others, was very short in height. But it doesn't mean that he could not hit. He probably hit the biggest sixes of his time. And somebody asked him that why. So he gave the answers. It's not the physical, but the mental stability. When he used to go there, he used to be calm and composed compared to many others who was very big, but they could not, whenever they used to see the ball, they just want to hit, they could not control themselves. So we could try to be as big as Hulk, but the main thing is not the body, because even if we have the big body, our mental stability is not there, then the big body will not help us, just like what happened with Arjun. And that's how anything which Arjun faces, we also feel in our life. Hence, the Bhagavad Gītā, being put together 5,500 years back, is still so much relevant for us. So much relevant for us. Because we all feel that. And the second thing he said, so the first thing, compassion. The second thing he said, enjoyment. What pleasures will we derive from killing our own relatives with whom I will enjoy? And it happens, if you want to enjoy, we want friends, isn't it? We are just sitting alone and just playing ourselves. But what happens if somebody else, another friend will come online and play video game together? Or we are watching something together, watch the cricket together, watch the football together, watch a movie together. Then it's fun, right? And that's what Arjun said, that if we are going to kill everyone, with whom we will enjoy that kingdom. Then the next thing, destruction of family. He said, if you are going to kill these people, then what will happen to their families? What will happen to the kids? Because most of the time, especially on those days, the father used to earn. Father used to give the family values. And father and mother together will raise the children. But if the father is not there, who is going to support the family? How mother is going to support? Because you need both mother and father, which means the family tradition will break. And if that will break, then the whole dynasty will go down. And then he said, I have a fear of sinful reaction. If I will kill these people because I want to get the kingdom, then I'm definitely going to get the sin. And that's where, well, a bit later, Krishna will come into picture, and Krishna says, well, so far, so imagine Krishna is just listening. And this is another great skill we learn here. As soon as Arjun said, oh, because of compassion, I can't fight, Krishna didn't start saying or explaining or trying to persuade him. Krishna is patiently listening. And this is what we should do. If somebody else is there who's losing the nerves, we should not straight away jump. We should listen. Just hear out. Maybe mother is angry, maybe father is angry, maybe the kids are angry. The very first thing is the listening. Shravanam. We should hear, we should listen. Right? And so far, Arjun is giving all the excuses why he doesn't want to fight. Right? So the way to remember, C, D, E, F. Compassion. C, destruction of family. D, E for enjoyment. F for fear of sinful reactions. And then he goes further, and then he says he's overwhelmed, and he put his bow and arrow, and he sat down. And Krishna is still listening. Krishna is thinking, what do you want to say? And only now Krishna is going to speak. But before Krishna will speak, what happens? But there is a verse 2.7. So verse 2 and 6, what's happening? Krishna asks something. Krishna says, how have these impurities come upon you? Now, these impurities are not of the body, these impurities of our mind. That you are not such a weak person. What are you thinking? You're a Kshatriya, you're supposed to fight. Because those people on the other side, they are irreligious. They have done bad things, not only to your family, but to the society. And being a Kshatriya, you should fight. So far, Arjun been thinking from a personal level that if I will win, I will be the king, I will enjoy. But Krishna said, no, you don't need to fight to win. You just need to fight because it's your duty to fight, right? They're not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. So understand what's your focus. And that's what happens number of times. We are in a game, we want to win something, not because we want to put or belittle the other team or somebody else in that team, we don't like it. Because if we are a sports person, we should win, we should put our 100%. But what is the intention? What is the consciousness of our mind? We should always remember. So what Krishna says further, they lead. What lead? These impurities of our mind. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. Like you will become infamous if you're not going to fight. Do not yield to this degrading importance. Give up such petty weakness of heart. So heart and mind goes along. And then, how can I counteract Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship? So again, he's focusing on his families. That how can I kill them? And then better to live like a beggar than take their lives, 2.6. So that's where Arjun completely surrendered to Lord Krishna in verse 7. And after that, so far, Arjun has been giving different excuses. Because of this, I don't want to fight. Because of this, I should not fight. Because of this, I will not fight. But 2.7, when Krishna has already said briefly, 2.7, he's completely going to surrender. Karpanya dosho upatahassa bhava. Like, now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of my miser weakness. Again, not the bodily weakness, the mental weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you. See, now he's saying, I'm asking you. He's not saying, he's not giving any more excuses, more reasons, but he is asking now. I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I'm your disciple and a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. So if you are listening to someone, listen and then maybe listen until the person asks for the advice. Just don't go around and give advices to others. Usually the free advices, without being asked, they are not very well received. Only when somebody asks for advice and you give a good advice, then people receive it with good heart. So this is a very important verse, verse 7. And let's go for Aryan's story. And then this is the beginning of chapter 2, which is a very important chapter in Bhagavad Gita because it summarizes everything. But we will see the Sanskrit of this verse as well, and maybe we will try to learn this verse. Karpanya dosho pahata sabhava pachami dharma samudachita. So we will show the Sanskrit and we will try to learn this verse, and this way we will learn gradually, slowly some of the Sanskrit verses as well, and they are beautiful to recite. We could recite in the morning after our prayers. We could recite before we go to bed, before we sleep. And this way, if we continue reciting, they become the part of our memory. I have some of them printed here with me, and we recite them every day. So this is the very first verse, 2.7. Karpanya dosho pahata sabhava prachami kandharma samuracheta. Yachvesham nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyastvayam shadimam tvam tapannam. The translation is what it says there, that now I'm surrendered soul. Please, please, please instruct to me. So with that, I would like to thank you, everyone. And may I request Arvind, would you like to share, or do you want me to share, please? Great. Okay, Arjun would like to share, so I'm going to stop the sharing here. All right, okay, I'm going to share and Arjun is going to go. So I'm going to stop the sharing. Maybe see if the other one is okay. It's not up. So let me just stop the sharing here. Meanwhile, if anyone has anything, please let me know. So let's see. So Bhagavad Gita is very important. We should always try to recite the verses one by one. So Arun is going to share from his side. We should always take time to recite some of the verses, and I need to give Arun the permission to share. Could you, who can initiate me? Okay, you're able to share now, Arun, if you try, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No, nope. Let me try sharing. Ooh, there's so many things these days. Yeah, you should be able to share now, I guess. It says anyone can share. Yeah, okay. And we have enabled AI companion. Ooh, I'm not sure what that does, but we will see. All right, Aryan, please let me know. All right, okay, Aryan is sharing. Over to you, Aryan, please.
Thank you. Okay, so these are wise stories. These are the wise stories. So there are two stories. I'll be going and I'll be presenting story 2. So this is the lion who became a sheep. In the beginning, there was the lion who thought he was a sheep, and there was a pregnant lioness that was there, and she died near where a flock of sheep were. So where the flock of sheep were, she died, and because she was pregnant, she also gave birth to the small baby cub. And eventually the cub started to grow up with the sheep and started to play with them. So he started enjoying playing with the sheep, acting like sheep. And then one day he was eating grass just like the sheep. And then another lion was just surveying this, and he was looking at the lion just being with all the sheep, and he was like, why is the lion acting like all the sheep? He's a lion. He's like me. He should be hunting down the sheep. So then the lion goes and pounces onto this baby cub that's over there and drags him away. And then he's like, why are you with the sheep? You're not a sheep. And then the baby cub was like, I am a sheep. I've always been with the sheep. And then the lion, the bigger lion who pounced on the cub, he takes him to a river and he makes him look inside. And then the baby cub, he also looks into the reflection and he's like, oh, we're both the same. Oh, we both look the same. Oh, I didn't know that I'm a sheep. And then eventually he starts to realize that he's not one of the sheep. He's actually one of the lions. So the moral of this story is that association really matters. You might be someone very rich, someone very wealthy, but you might not have a good attitude, and it all depends on people you associate with. Just like the lion who thought that he was a sheep, just because from childhood he associated with the sheep, but he actually wasn't, he was a lion. And someone from, so this is how when devotees are there, you should always try to be with devotees because they give the better attitudes. They're the ones who you are, they're spiritually enlightened. So I would like to give it back to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for that, Aryan. And indeed, what I can learn from that, and we all could, that if you think about it, that's so true, the association, and we all are in the association of someone. The only thing is, we just need to realize, do we want to be in that association or we don't? And if I share this now, this is the verse I was saying. If you think about it, the story which Aryan just shared, thank you so much, Aryan. This is a story, if you think that we all are here in material world. If we are with those people who are so much motivated by sense gratification, like the only thing they want to do is to enjoy, whether that enjoyment is good food. It's not that we should not eat good food, but the food should be hygiene, the food should be tasty, food should be clean, but we should offer the food to Krishna first, so that food become prasad, and this way we are full of gratitude towards Krishna. On the other hand, there are many people who just go out and eat whatever they want because they want to enjoy their senses, in this case the tongue. And if we associate ourselves with those people, of course sometimes we might have to, we don't have a choice, but whenever we have a choice, we should always be conscious with whom we would like to associate ourselves. And it feels like we are spiritual, like what Srila Prabhupada ji said, that we are not material people who sometimes have a spiritual bliss, a spiritual experience. We are actually spiritual beings who think that we are having material expenses. And because of these experiences, material experiences, we feel so sad, because we call it, the Shastras call Dukhalyam. This is a place of misery. How we could be happy? Remember, if you have seen the advert of this these sessions, Bhagavad Gītā, it's a pursuit of happiness. Why we should read Bhagavad Gītā? Why should we listen to Bhagavad Gītā? Why we should discuss Bhagavad Gītā? Because anything and everything we do in our life is to be happy. There is nothing else we ask for. Whether we want to earn more money, why? Because with that money we can buy a few things which will make us happy. Right? If somebody will say to you, oh, you have 10 million pounds or $10 million in your bank, but you can't use it, will you be happy? Well, you might be happy thinking, oh, I can't use it now, I can use it later in future. But what if somebody will say, no, not now, not ever you could use that, but they're yours. So what's the point? What's the point? And the person will say, all right, okay, I got it. You can use that 10 million, but I will tell you, you can only do this thing. You can't do anything else. And you say, what? No, I want to use it the way I want to use it. You can only use it, and I will tell you how to use it. You say, but that's not fun. Imagine it's 10 million. But still it's not fun because somebody else is using on your behalf. And the person will say, okay, you can use it. But you can't use it on those things you like. You can't use it for those things which bring you happiness. I say, hang on, it's my money. If I can use it, I would like to use it for those things which bring me happiness. Or at least I think they will bring me happiness. Even though anything which we can buy from money, and think about it is a bold statement. Anything which we can buy from money, those things can only give us temporary happiness. Temporary happiness could be for a moment. It could be for a day, a week, a month, maybe a year, maybe a couple of years. But sooner or later, that happiness will go down. And we have seen it. We buy a new phone. Initially, when we get an iPhone, we are so excited. When we get a new car, when we move into a new house, when we get into a new school, we are so happy, so excited. What happens then? We go on a holiday. We want to go on a holiday. But what happens later? After a while, that happiness goes away. So this is what we are thinking, right? That only thing we are doing or we are trying to do is to bring happiness. But this happiness will never come from material because this is only a temporary. It's a temporary place, so what we can expect from it? We can't. And then once somebody said to Prabhupada, you don't know. You haven't tried that sweet. If you will try that sweet, you will understand there is so much happiness in this material world. Prabhupada said, okay, I agree with you. But what if you try that same sweet at the same time, 10 of those? Yeah. Let's say you like ice cream, 1 ice cream. Ooh, very nice. 2 ice cream, awesome. 3 ice creams, thank you, Krishna. 4 ice creams, hang on. Can I have it later? No, now, 5th ice cream. Whoa, I already had 4. I don't want 5th one. No, finish your 5th one and I will give 6th one. You say, come on, I don't want it. I will have anything else. Why? You said this ice cream is your favorite. You said this ice cream brings you happiness. Well, it was temporary, wasn't it? It was temporary. Now imagine you say, no, only when you have 1 ice cream a day, it makes you happy. How about you get 1 ice cream a day for how long? How long this ice cream will make you happy? I actually did this experiment with one of my friends. And he said the ice cream is my best thing. And I said, okay, try that. I think he went for like 26 days. And 27th day, he said, I don't feel to have it today. I said, no worries, take a day break, have it tomorrow. He said, I've lost the taste of it. He just had 1 ice cream, and it was an ice cream. 1 ice cream every day. 26 days, 27th day, he could not eat it. Just lost the taste of it because he knew he's going to have it. Only taste is temporary. When you know it's going to come, you didn't expect it. It's going to give you happiness, right? But what Krishna is saying, what Prabhupada is saying, if you will live a spiritual life, if you will get the wisdom from Bhagavad Gītā, we are going to transcend that happiness, because then happiness will come from inside. Like what happened to Arjun. Arjun had everything, but still his mental stability gone down and he started feeling miserable. So remember, this is what whole point of Bhagavad Gītā. Bhagavad Gītā, anything and everything we are doing it for happiness, but we don't get happiness in material world because those are temporary things. But the happiness, the wisdom we get from Bhagavad Gītā, that wisdom is going to give us the spiritual happiness which will stay forever. And this is Ved Besa. And if you don't have it, I will share the link there. If you put Ved base in Google, you will get it. Or even if you say BG 2.7, the Ved base 2.7 will come up. And this is the verse I was saying. Try to recite it in your own time. But the way it goes, so you could go Sanskrit. This is Devanagari. We call it Sanskrit. The lipi is Devanagari. Or you could recite in English, which is Karpanye dosho upahata sabhava prachamitam dharma samura cheta yachvesha nishchitam brui tanme shishyasteham chadimam tvam prapannam. So if we keep reciting it, and you will find the recitation on the YouTube as well, you could keep reciting it, keep listening it. It's such a beautiful verse where Arjun is surrendering to Krishna, and from here, Arjun will get all his answers. So this is what we need to do when we want to learn something from someone. The very first thing we do is we surrender completely, right? We surrender. It's not easy to learn from someone because we have to surrender to the person, and then Krishna will start explaining. But if in case you would also like to understand the word-to-word meaning, then Prabhupada ji is so merciful. He did such a hard work. He has given word-to-word translation to us. Karpanya, of misery. Karpanya is Kripan. Kripan is in Sanskrit. Kripan is a miser. So Karpanya is somebody who is full of miserness. Dosha is a weakness. And this way, if we go one by one, we can learn the whole shloka. We understand the Sanskrit. And if we click on it, you'll see what happens, that wherever. So this verse only came in one place, but there are many more places this verse might be. So if I say contain, and what are we doing? Filter. And we'll see Karpanya, if exact word, but contains. So Karpanyam. So Karpanya is part of Karpanyam, and we can see this word is also there in Srimad Bhagavatam, and that was insufficiency. Right? And then the distress could be another translation. And this is the same translation. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, verse 28. This is the way we could learn Sanskrit as well while learning Bhagavad Gita. There's so many different benefits we have learning Bhagavad Gita here. So thank you so much for your presence, and I look forward to see you next Sunday, 5 o'clock. If you have any story with you, feel free to come forward. If you get the time, read the chapter 2, because chapter 2 from 2.7 we will go further and we will start going into detail of the theme, what happens in Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna is going to give so many different things. And I will request Arvind to put together another story. He has already done 2 stories. Maybe at one point we will do all the stories together, or we will do a recap. But any story, if you have it, feel free to bring it along. Right? So with that, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, everyone. Take good care of yourself, and I look forward to see you next Sunday, 5 o'clock. Hare Krishna Kana, Hare Krishna Jai, Hare Krishna, everyone. Take good care of yourself. Be blessed.